says that we are streaming. We're not on the website yet, and my YouTube is not opening yet. But this does say we are live.
Normally when it says we're live. So don't make any funny faces.
Right? Don't walk through with no clothes on.
Now, who would do such a thing?
That was hilarious.
It would have been funny if we would have gotten a lot of comments in our comments section over that.
I couldn't believe it picked up those like 3 seconds. There was like a second, and it picked it up as the thumbnail. I was like, that's hilarious.
It was funny.
All right, we are live. We are live on the website. Let me refresh us here. How's everybody doing tonight? See if anybody's made any comments so far. All right. I know I got a couple people coming tonight. I've had a few people sign up in the last couple of days that want to get a little more information. So we'll go through some information. We got a hot topic tonight. We haven't disclosed what that topic is. I'd be curious to know if anybody in the chat has figured out what that topic is based off of the subtle clues that have been given out. My name's Jim Hall. I've been doing marketing online for about 20 years. And I had a long run with Empower Network, and I actually met Dave Wood, the founder of Empower Network, and I met Vic Strizhouse. Have a picture with both of them, and I met a couple other key guys while I was in Empower Network. And then after that, I kind of lost the zeal for this industry, and I went back to work. I hadn't worked for 5 years at that point, and that's when we met. When we met Mike and Paul is back in 2013, 2014. We had a big meeting with them at a Colorado Rockies game. We had all these booths up in the top and got to hang out with all those guys, the whole Prosperity team at the time. So we met a lot of people there, met a lot of people that are really making a lot of money on the internet. And then things changed in Empower Network pretty much right after that. And I pretty much quit after that. I started up a few little things on my own, and then I just went back to work. And I had pretty much given up on this industry because it was so hard. I was working so hard to make a few dollars, and I couldn't consciously tell someone else, hey, this is working. And I think Mike and Paul's story is real similar to that, and Nick's story too. We all worked really, really hard from sun up to sundown, and we made a little money. Mike and Paul, obviously, they made a lot more money, but things kept dying on them. Things kept changing, and commissions changed, and they stopped making money, and things shut down, and Power Network shut down. So I just want to put some of that story out there because I did stop doing this. I lost some of my lists that I had going because they all just got shut off. And so I got fired from my job. First time I ever got fired from a job before. And I decided that I was going to get back into this industry and actually make it work. And I decided at that point, I was going to create a system that would enable that to happen. And through goal setting, what has happened is, and goal setting is going to be our topic for tonight. Nobody commented down there. Through goal setting and just keeping that top of my mind and looking for what it was I was looking for, I finally came across a platform to where I could build a membership site. And then lo and behold, we found the 30-minute workday, which was already all complete, just like you see it in the background here. All set up, done for us. I had somebody message me today and say, I thought this system was done for you. And it is done for you. It's not doing for you. If you buy a McDonald's, you still have to go in and hire a manager, or you still have to do the work, even after you get the building all set up. So it is a done for you system, but it's not going to do the work for you. It's going to do a lot of it. It will take away a lot of the setup and a lot of the struggles. So anyways, that's a little long for my introduction than I normally go into, but I wanted to throw that out there. So I've been doing this for a little while now, and I'm making a pretty close to a full-time income, working in a few minutes a day. I mean, some days I don't even do anything. So and I don't have a job. And so I can set up emails on like Saturday and send them out for the week and do whatever I want, so it's pretty cool. That's my story, and I will go ahead and pass the baton over to Louie and let Louie. I see Robin popped on with us down there, fashionably late as usual, military style, right? That's how I always had to do push-ups when I showed up late. Should we
I
make
thought it was hurry up and wait.
You don't do push-ups?
Hang on, I just heard a saying today, if you're on time, you're late or something.
Right? Yeah, if you weren't 15 minutes early for formation, you were late. Because you never know when you were going to bring the wrong hat to the formation, right? And then you got to run back to your car and get it. I showed up in one formation with my daughter's purple beanie instead of my gray beanie for exercise formation. They didn't like that. It wasn't funny at all. So anyways, go ahead, Louie.
No, they have a way of making you pay.
They do.
My story is not as long in this industry, as far diverse as Jim's is, but still, as probably many of you that are going to watch this video have tried, and I don't like using that word, bought different systems, only to either be disappointed or, maybe it was because of my own mindset at the time, but never got, the whole crux of that is I never got anywhere with using other people's systems until I found this type of a system and support systems. And some of the secret that Jim's already let out of the bag there of what we're going to be talking about tonight is a big, big part of being successful. It's probably the biggest part of being successful here is what we're going to talk about tonight on that. But as far as me, I haven't made any money from affiliate marketing until the 30-minute workday. Started it in March. I've done really well with it. I know I just keep pushing the button, and it just keeps growing. It does seem, during some months it might slow down. You may go 2 weeks without getting any real big movement, and then all of a sudden, so it's moving again for you. But what we're going to talk about tonight, and other than a little bit of a reveal that Jim left there, we'll let that go. I don't have a long background in this. I do have computer skills that aids, but hopefully what we're going to bring to you tonight is the main thing, like the invisible step last week, is to making you successful. So I've spent a lot of money in systems, just never got anywhere. This is easy. We're going to show you how to do that tonight.
Sounds good, Louie. Robin, what's going on?
What's going on? I made it. You should saw me running down here. Anyway, Robin Williams here. Been in the industry for, I really don't know. I pretty much tell you I don't know, but over a decade in and out of offline marketing. Absolutely love this system. I have a ton of experience, and I'm not saying success, right? A ton of experience online. I've tried a lot of different strategies, anywhere from getting chased by dogs trying to go door to door, right? to, spamming on Facebook, to YouTube marketing, to all that stuff. I found some really good stuff that worked. Ultimately, I love this system because, like Louis said, you get to push the button, and that helps a lot. It pretty much takes away a lot of the time. Not saying you don't do anything in this business, but you literally just get to do what we're doing now. We get to literally get in front of people and easily get to inspire, influence folks to get started with their business and things like that. Versus trying to do strategies. I did some crazy stuff back in the day online, and I mean, it wasn't like illegal or anything, but if you think about it, with my Instagram marketing, I used to have to use about 6 different tools on a daily basis to get leads and sales. Okay. So when it comes to that, and I'm talking about on a platform that could just smack you down for doing stuff on their platform, overnight and you're done. Okay. So this is when I think Jim mentioned that is, the easy push button. It is when it comes to a lot of the things that people have to do in order to get income and stuff online. So I'm pretty much in love with this process. This will be my lifetime process, basically, when it comes to building affiliate marketing online. So that's just my small story in a nutshell.
It's pretty exciting, the tool, and if I know some of you guys that are here tonight have probably watched Amy the last couple of nights. I mean, last night and maybe last week. She loves the tool too, and how easy it is to build. What I love is just how easy it is to just change stuff around, to just adjust whatever it is you're working on. And I'll show you some new things that I've been working on the last couple of days to make my calendar a little more efficient and some stuff like that. But we want to go ahead and dig in here. And I wanted to start off with a little quote, I guess, that like Jim Rohn says for goal setting. One of the things Jim Rohn says is it's really easy, right? Goal setting is really easy. Most of us make it way too complicated. And Jim Rohn says, decide what you want and write it down. That's it, if you just decide what you want and you write it down. And then he goes on to say that we goal set all the time. If we're about to go on vacation, miraculously, we get so much more work done the week that before we go on vacation than any other week of the whole year. If we just goal set like we did that week, all the other weeks, we'd be a lot more efficient, but a lot of us resist goal setting for some reason. I do. I'm and I know I've read all the books about it. I mean, I'm reading Elon Musk right now. You want to talk about goal setting? He's going to Mars, and I think he'll make it. So, and that's his goal. And then goal setting comes back into vision as well. We have to have a vision, and so you decide what you want, you write it down, and that helps you project your vision out there for other people to see where you're going. I want to be making $100,000 a year in the next 5 years. So now I have a spot to vision towards, and then I can start breaking down my plan to how many customers I need by that point. So that's part of goal setting then too, is planning how to get there. And something I said in the email today was how they did a study at Yale University, and I mean, we're talking about a major school, right? Not just some little 2-year college, but they studied one of the classes like 30 or 40 years ago. Now it's been a long time, and they studied the class, and they found that about 3% of one of the classes effectively did their goals, and they did the all the steps that it really takes to make SMART goals and all that lingo, and then they caught up with that class at the 20-year reunion or however they ended up coming about the end of the study. But they studied them again in 20 years or so and found that the 3% that did goals, that did successful goal setting, did more income and other successful ventures than the whole rest of the class combined. So the 3% was more successful than the whole other 90% at Yale. So that's how powerful goal setting is. And we all should do it more. We should all be more effective at it. And I'm going to share a couple of things with you, but I'd like to get some feedback from my partners here and see what their takes are on goals and goal setting and what they do. Either one of you, jump right out.
Yeah.
That's fine.
You coming out, Robin?
I can. I just personally, I have some tips because for me, over the years, goal setting wasn't a thing. Like I wasn't taught to set goals and things like that. But when like I'm a person that likes to do things, I like to create and things like that, and that can be that can go against you sometimes if you're like a person who loves to create all of these things, and you want to build your business online and have this and do all of this stuff, one of the things I would say that has helped me is the power of focus on those goals. And it really is kind of intertwined with mindset as well, because what we focus on, we pretty much attract to us. I can't hear you. Can you hear me? It's like my sound went out.
Yeah.
Oh,
Jim
okay,
was
cool.
muted.
Oh, Jim muted. Okay, Jim, I was all messed up because I was like, man, my computer's crashing. My computer's bad, so I thought it was going down. But basically, you just have that mindset of what you want to get done. And I think for me, a big thing is to kind of focus on one thing. And it's just not in business, but even like at my job, one of the things that I hated hearing was, you got to be a good multitasker. You got to be a good multitasker. And to me, that means you have a project, and you focus on that project and you get that done. But to a lot of people in the Air Force, it was, you got to handle all of this stuff at the same time. You don't get nothing done, right? You don't get anything done. And I think a big thing for goal setting is just to make sure you focus on what it is you want. And that is huge in the industry that we're in, because there's so many what we call shiny objects, shiny ball syndromes, people running around, and you want to jump to one thing to the other. But I think going back to the basics and just making sure you focus on, like, if you're in a 30-minute workday, you're in it, right? There's no 30-minute workday in two other businesses. Just focus on one thing. And I think this is one of the best places to focus on, because it actually teaches you what you're supposed to do in any business. So that's just something. Hopefully I interrupt you from doing what you wanted to do, Jim.
No, you're good. You're good. I wanted to get you guys to come out a little bit and talk too about your take on it, because I am a little weak in this area.
Yeah, me too.
And one of the reasons I think I am is because I have a really, really good memory, which is always been great, except I keep a lot of stuff in my brain because of it. So I definitely need to work on putting more things on paper myself. So
I was showing Jem my little blue book. I have a little blue book. Somewhere here I have a little black book that I carry around as well. It's smaller. But yes, you need to write down. You need to write down your goals. You need to be grateful for the goals that you have. You need to think about them often. Your goals are there, of because of what you desire to have or where you want to go. And so if you don't keep them before you, things will distract you. There's a lot. It's so, if you have a family at home, if you're still working a job, so easy. If you're not keeping your goals, there's times I won't open this book up, and it's like days go by, and I write the date when I wrote something in it, a thought, something I'm thankful for, or whatever. But it has sheets in it that are dedicated just to the goals that I have. And there are days I find myself not even opening it, and it's like, because if you keep it before you, it's amazing. 90 days ago, I would not have never imagined being here where I'm at, us doing these Thursday night lives. But I can see it, I couldn't see that as part of my goals, but it's getting me to my goals. It's getting me, to be out there more, doing more marketing, it's helping me towards the goal of that financial freedom. You don't need to know all the hows. You don't need to know every step. You just need to know my goal, like Jim says, is to be making 100,000, in 5 years from residual income. And he doesn't need to know every step or how it's all going to happen. He can think about it. He can say, oh, I know if I have so many funnel builders, if I have so many of this or so many customers of this, then I'm going to get there. But in reality, something right around the corner could turn that, and it could all come from somewhere else. It's his goal that he's going after, and he's going after it the best way we know how to go after it. Sometimes the steps, they're just not clear, they'll come, but writing your goals down. I bet you if you looked further into that study, it was a goal setting, because, right, what's the saying, a goal or a dream not, I think a goal not written down is just a dream. It's like, before you know it, time's gone by and you've done nothing towards that goal that you want to go. Just like me not looking at my little blue book here, for a couple of days. It's amazing how fast it goes by. So my thing on it for everybody is to write your goals. And I work, I've been in management, I've been in upper management for companies. And I'm telling you, the number one thing is goal settings. We have goals, we have performance agreements, and those goals are written down, and you keep them in front of you, because you're going to have a 3-month review, 6-month review, and where are we at with our goals? And the successful companies are doing it. If they're doing it, there's a reason for it. It's not a waste of time. It's something that's very important. So in your home business and in your personal life, you need to do the same thing.
Well, and I definitely agree with you that in a structured, well-run company, the goals are there. Elon Musk, Apple, Microsoft, they all have goals and dreams and vision, and they're billionaires. And that's, the topic of the email was, this is worth billions. And I don't think I would bet that you couldn't find a billionaire out there that didn't have a list of goals, Going back to Jim Rohn again, Jim Rohn's mentor said when they first kind of met, his name was Earl Schoaf, and Jim Rohn studied with him for 5 years. And Earl said to Jim Rohn one day, he said, show me your list of goals, and that's probably where we should get started. And Jim Rohn said, well, I don't have a list of goals. And his mentor said, well, are they in the car? And he said, no, I don't have a list of goals at all. And Jim Rohn was like 25, 26 years old or something at this time. And so Earl Schoaf, his mentor, said, well, if you don't have a list of goals, I can guess your bank balance within a few $100s. And Jim Rohn says that he guessed, and he was right. And he said that really made him pay attention. And he said that, so he asked Earl Schoaf, he said, so if I had a better list of goals, that would increase my bank account? And he said, yes, drastically. And he said that's when he became a millionaire, basically right there on the spot, because he decided. And Earl Schoaf said what he should do is set a goal to become a millionaire. And he's like, yeah, that sounds good, to have $1 million. He's like, no, not to have $1 million, to become someone that could attract $1 million, to become the type of person that it takes to attract $1 million. So that's the reason that he told him to take on that as a goal. And then, of course, Zig Ziglar talks too a lot about goal setting and how he'll go back to his goals and look over them, and some of them. And I was listening to him today actually on a goal setting audio, and he said, he's got a list of goals, and he read off all these goals, and the audience was laughing and everything about how much he's going to get done this year. And he's like, well, obviously some of these I'm not going to get done. He says, I know they're not all accomplishable, but if I write them down, I'm going to get a lot more of them done than I would have if I didn't write them down. So it's, it's one of those things too. If you aim for the stars, you'll hit the moon, right? Or at least hit the moon. So yeah, Jeff said, they say goals that aren't written down are just wishes. Same thing you were saying there, Louie. And then Bob said, goals, got it. My goal has been written down for 10 years, working on it and getting closer. Bob was late. What's going on with late people today? Everybody's late. They're taking after Robin. Robin, you're causing this.
Hey, I can't help the inspiration that I give out there.
Her goal is to be here when we start.
Right? And she never wrote it down, apparently.
We appreciate you, Robin.
We do.
Thank
We have a good time. We have a good time. And I put that in the email too. Come on by and we'll have a good time. And now that Bob's here, I know we'll have a good time. I can hear him laughing on the other end and wanting to talk. I almost sent him a Zoom link because I know that he likes to talk a lot. He's a good guy. I like Bob a lot. We've been spending a lot of time together. He's really cool. Anything else you guys want to add? Anything standing out in your brain right now that you want to add on there about goals? No, nothing really standing out. Okay.
Just recap it as before we go into our 30-minute workday, and the next things is write them down, folks. Write down your goals. Write them down. If you don't know, where to start, go on to YouTube. Better yet, get a hold of one of us. We'll help you out. But write down your goals. Write them down. Make a list of them. There's different theories on write it and put it somewhere and don't look at it. And there's others like myself that look at it frequently to keep myself moving in the right direction. So that's my last minute take on it before we move into the sharing some of the power of what we're doing.
Yeah, well, and I'm not going to start sharing 30-minute workday yet. I just wanted to give you all a chance. Go ahead, Robin. You wanted to say something?
Oh, I was just going to say a big thing is just to keep things simple, keep simplicity in there, because sometimes we do create these big goals, and then if we have so much to do within those goals, then it's very unlikely that it'll ever happen. And then just have attainable goals. For those who are familiar with things like YouTube marketing or search engine optimization, they have this thing called the low-hanging fruit, where you just take these actions every day. And even though you might not be able to take over, become this large YouTube channel overnight, you just take these small actions every day to grow that account. And you kind of want to treat your goals like that, so they become more obtainable. And pretty much on a day-to-day basis, you'll most likely do them versus not do them. And that's another reason why I like the 30-minute workday, because we don't have a whole bunch of things that we need to do every day. And honestly, for me, like, this is the most consistency I've had in my business in my entire business time of, that we just talked about. And it's because I'm taking these small actions.
Yeah, because there's really not much on the list to do, right? So it's a lot easier to do it. And then
well, something Robin was saying though about there's different, to me, different categories of the goals. You want some that are easier to obtain, small steps. But you also want some on there that seem maybe far-fetched, some of your really bigger goals. Because the way your subconscious mind looks at that is, if you've accomplished the easier ones, it can't, it knows it's going to accomplish that next item, because it can see that you made movement towards it. Oh yeah, I did that. Oh yeah, I did that, because you've written it down. So its only next course of action is to get you to your next goal that's on that list. And the next thing about goal setting is goals change. As you move down the line here towards your goals, you may realize, well, wait a minute. As Jim's like, I want to make 100,000 residual in 5 years. I blew that out of the water the first year. I want to make that. I want to make, so your goals can change. They don't need to be rigid. It's not like that. It's as you grow, your goals are going to grow and change. So make sure you update them.
Yeah, that's a neat point too, because Christy set a goal to have 1,000 members in her group by the end of this year. And then by the end of last year, she had 2,000 members in her group. And she's like, this thing is on fire, and now she's almost to 16,000 people in her group. So she's had to adjust her goals a little bit there. Also, make sure that if you have a major goal that you're about to accomplish, that you have another goal on the backside of it. They say that the astronauts, when they went to the moon, that was basically their end life goal, was to go to the moon. So when they went to the moon and they accomplished that goal, they all came back and had severe depression because they didn't have anything else bigger in life to do. So that's something to also think about with your goals, is to make sure that you've got some other goals set up behind your big goals for when you accomplish them. And then you got to think about too, like Robin said, to categorize them, but you also have to think about stuff like, what do you want to do, and who do you want to be, and who do you want to meet, and where do you want to go? You got to have goals of. Oops, did we cut her off? I didn't see her light come on. Louis, you're muted.
I'm still here.
No, I just wanted to make sure we didn't cut off when she was talking there.
I thought you couldn't see me. So this computer be messing.
No, I felt like she came to an end point. Did we not let you come to an end point?
Yeah, I was good.
Okay, it felt like it got quiet for a second, so I picked it up.
I thought I fell off.
One of us did. So in that same categorizing, you need to set financial goals, and you need to set personal goals, and you need to set family goals, and you need to set goals of who do you want to meet. It was weird. I wrote some goals down a while back, and one of the goals I wrote down on there was, and I may have said this before, was to go and meet, you can't see him because he's green, to go and see Jeff Dunham in concert. And about a month later, my sister called and says, "Hey, Jeff Dunham's going to be in town. Let's go." So, and I didn't even know she was a fan or anything. So here we are. We're in the audience. Not too long after that, just kind of on happenstance, So I had to get me a little souvenir. Got a jalapeno on the steak. So goals are neat that way. Once you put them down on paper, whether, like Louis said, whether you look at them or you don't look at them, you tend to gravitate towards them. I do agree with Louis. I think looking at them is better than not looking at them, but there's some of both ideas out there. But yeah, have categories of time and have categories of places you're going, things you want to see, what you want to become, things you want to have, all of those things, and write them down. And let's see what else we got on here. Bob said his personal goals help a lot of people obtain their goals also. And Bob makes a really good point there. Help a lot of people's not a good goal. We got to get our goals more specific. The more specific we can be, the better we can lock in on it, because it's really easy to excuse out what a lot of people is. A lot of people might be 5, right? So if we make that a little bit more specific, if you say, I want 2 sales a day, you can work towards that goal. If you're not getting 2 sales a day, you can't say, well, I come close, because I was only going to get a lot of sales. So that's one of the big things. I'm sure a lot of people have heard of the SMART formula and how to have specific, simple, sensible, and significant goals, and then measurable. If you're losing weight, if your goal is to lose weight, don't just say, I want to lose weight. Pick the weight that you want to get to. Pick the time that you want to get there. And measurable is good too in business like this, because you can do measurable a lot easier. Like maybe you can't say I'm going to get 2 sales, right? But maybe you can say I'm going to get 30 leads a day. And then knowing that percentage wise, 30 leads should probably get you to 2 sales a day, or whatever it takes to get to 2 sales a day. You got to eventually work yourself up to getting that many leads. And with this system, what I really like about that is you can just buy leads. So if you set a goal to get 100 leads a day, maybe you can't do it right off the bat, right? But you can work yourself up to that. And it's super measurable and it's super consistent that way, because you can actually just purchase them. You don't have to try and go out and talk to people or anything like that. I hardly call anyone anymore in this business. So, you don't have to go out and talk to people. You don't have to drum up leads. I just order leads, and I even have my leads on auto ship. So if I want to get 30 leads a day, I order enough to get 30 leads a day, and my goal is met that way, and then achievable. If you want to get 100 goals a day, 100 leads a day, and you can only afford 5 leads a day, then you got to make sure that you set up your timeline to make that achievable, and decide how far out are you going to go to get 100 leads a day. Can you wait 5 years? Do you want to have that by the end of this year? What do you got to give up to reach that measurable goal? And then relevant, is it inside of whatever it is you're doing? Is your little goals working towards your big goals? If Zig Ziglar said that one of his goals was to eat some certain ice cream 3 times a day, and he also wanted to lose a pound a month or something like that, and the whole audience laughed. Like, they're not relevant. They don't work together. I mean, it'd be hard to eat ice cream 3 times a day and still lose weight. So you got to make sure that they're relevant, that they can work together towards your bigger goal. And maybe you change off, like Louis said, goals change. So maybe you decide, I want to have ice cream 3 times a day. I'm not worried about losing a pound a month. I'll take the pound a month. I'll gain a pound a month and have my ice cream 3 times a day. You probably gain more than that if you do that. But and then I talked a lot about time. I think everything in life is really about time. So make sure that everything you do has a time limit on it, and that will help you to set all of your goals in a more specific way that way, and they're measurable and they're time sensitive. They put you on check, right? Like Robin, she should have been here at 8, right? So now we can call her out on it. If she'd have set her goal to be not 5 minutes late.
So it should be no surprise that I hardly ever set time frames on my goals, and I do that on purpose. And I guess this would be a good lesson for everybody. Like, kind of do what works for you as long as it works. Obviously, I didn't get here on time, but what you want to, like, I like to do it just stating what it is in a certain way. And that kind of removes, if you have that feeling of you got to get it done. I feel like the more negative feeling you build in your body, the less good things you attract. So if you feel like it's a rush, or you feel like you can't do it, you feel like it's a failure every time you miss your goal, I kind of sometimes just remove the time. Like, just it is what it is. This is the goal, and and then your goal might show up late, like I showed up late. So, but it'll show up.
As long as you don't end up letting it turn into an alibi, right? So that's the challenge on there, is if it works for you, right? Like you said, if you don't want to do something, I mean, at some point you got to decide if you're just not going to do it. I don't like blogging. I tried to do blogging again, and my blog's been set up for almost a month now, and it's not even set up. I haven't even done one blog post because I just don't like it. So it's not a goal that I've even set, because I know I'm probably just not going to do it until I decide that I am going to do it. And when I do, then I'll set a goal and I'll start doing it. But for now, it's one of those things. It's like Bob yesterday was talking about how he only has 5,000 acres of roadsides to mow. And I was like, man, is that I lost the thought. Is that a money-making action? Is that something you could just not do? Because that sounds like misery, right? Mowing and mowing and mowing and mowing for what? And he never answered, so I don't know if that was something he didn't want to talk about. But he went out and mowed more today, so he must have continued on with his roadsides. But and I think that's a really good point, and that's something Zig Ziglar talks about too. Is go through your goals after you set them. Look at the ones that can you just delete them. Is this something that you really want? Ask yourself, why do I even want this goal? A lot of people will say, and even me, I want $100,000 a year. Why? Do I need $100,000 a year? Could I reduce that to $50,000 a year? What is it I'm going to get from it to make that goal that big? So, and then when I ask why, now I can put some reasons behind that goal to say, oh yeah, this is the reasons. This is why I need $100,000 a year. And those reasons will then help me push that goal up a little better instead of the same thing, instead of alibiing out on my goal because I don't really need 100 grand. I could definitely live on 50 easy. if I just maybe cut a few things out. But do I want to cut a few things out? Do I want to pick up some new things, have a pool and stuff like that? You know, so those are some more ideas behind there, and we're getting close to the top of the hour. Anybody else have anything specific that they want to talk about goals before we move into some tech stuff and kind of show the back office? All right, let me check our notes one more time. I see Bob made a little more specific goal. Bob, you still don't have a timeline on there. He said, no, it's not. It's not an income producing activity, Bob. So it maybe it could just stop being done, right? Just give up on cutting them roadsides. Let them go. That's what I say. I mean, 5,000 acres. Woo. If I don't do it, I will lose the landlord and the land. Yeah, well, so it sounds like you need to do it then. When you get good at hitting your written goals and you get experience with picturing goals in your head and making them a reality, you'll find you won't need to write them down anymore. I don't know if that's true, Jeff. I think the same thing. I think as we start to age a little bit, our mind doesn't hold as much as it used to. Now, do we need as big a goals as we used to? I don't know. So I don't know for sure if that's true or not true on that. And I think still.
I think Jeff's comments are right on. That gets into another aspect of the goals, is visualizing your goal, achieving your goal. If you know your why, like, why do I want to make such an amount of money? Why do I want a sale a day? Why do I want? If you can envision that why, then it's doable. We envision that we could put somebody on the moon. It's doable. He envisioned we're going to go to Mars. It's doable. Visioning your goals and actually doing it is very powerful, because again, you're attracting it to you. And if you can do it without writing your goals down, like you said, then you've trained your mind that whatever I think and can see, I can achieve it, right? I don't no longer need the aid of writing it down. I think that's where Jeff may have been going with that comment, but it's that I believe that's real. I mean, I think that's like, you start off baby steps, writing your goals down, writing some closer ones, easier ones to obtain, your bigger ones, knowing your why is part of it. That helps you stay motivated towards your goal when you know your why. Just to throw out there, I want to be a millionaire. Everybody would want to be a millionaire, right? So, but knowing your why, what is that going to do? I want to be able to impact, just like Paul and Mike with feeding people, helping people. I don't need it to be able to buy all this nice stuff for myself, but look at the good you can do in the world with that kind of an income, right? So, but everybody has a different goal. It might be to be able to pass on money for their kids. It might be whatever that is, but I do definitely believe that in what Jeff was saying there. So
cool. All right, so let's transition over a little bit to talk about the 30-minute workday. Hopefully everybody got some good value out of the goal setting side of this. We're going to show some of the system. I want to show a couple of little projects I've been working on today. If I can remember what these are. I thought I had them pulled up already, but I made a product today for, oops, I'm not sharing. I caught it before you guys did. I made a product today for coaching by the hour, because I'm getting a lot of people coming to me needing coaching time, and I love to do it, but I'm getting to the point where it's getting a little bit challenging with so many different teams coming to me. So this is still to come. I'm not saying I'm implementing this just yet, but I've been working on this, and I thought it was really cool how easy it was, and I gave a little sample portfolio. And then I put in some stuff there too about what some people have said about me, and then end up working this out to where you can put in kind of what you're wanting, And then also I've been working on these, and I know I showed these the last time, but I've been working on my schedules and making them a little more branded to my YouTube channel and stuff like that, to kind of bring my branding all the way across everything, you know. So I think this is really cool, and these are really simple to do inside of our funnel builder. That is our main product inside of the 30-minute workday. So I like to show this mainly because this is a real thing that a lot of people need, and it's included in our funnel builder. This is great for coaches or salon. You know, if you have a home salon or a home bakery, you can set up appointments with them, and you can do Zooms on here if you're doing coaching, and it will actually email it out and put it in your calendar and everything. And then something I may not have shown before is when we log into our back office, it also keeps track of it in a more manageable way on our side. So if you come in here to booking, there's a schedule in here, and it actually keeps track of your schedule back here too. So you can have your follow-ups all in here, and you don't have to worry about going back to your calendar. You don't have to go dig through your emails to find them. So I think this is really super cool, and it's really only like 4 steps to set this up. Look, I've got like 7 of them already set up for different things, and it's really smart. It keeps track of your time in between all of these different schedules as well, and you can put multiple users, like Christy uses on hers, Home Bakers Academy. This was all built inside of the funnel builder, but her mentorship here. So this is the same tool for her calendar, but she's got 2 different users here. So that it's got their pictures there. You get to select it. It blends in with the page just like it belongs there. And then each of them have their own schedules and time frames, and it remembers all this stuff. So it's really cool tool, and it's super easy to put in there. Once you fill out your steps of what to do with it, you literally just drag it onto the page like this. And the whole thing, you pick what it is you want, and it drags it right on there, and it's all set up. You just change a few colors, and your booking tool's done. If you wanted to do that on a blank page, you could do that just like that, and be done with it. You know, so I think that's really, really neat.
That's
how
amazing.
And really the setup to it. I mean, it walks you right through it too. You know, it walks you right through the questions. Name it, description, location. Who do you want to have in here? How long? What times you want to use? And then form questions, and then you're done. You know, and then also with that store link. So the store, the same thing. You just do a little bit of information in here, and that I showed, the store link, was the same kind of thing. You drag it in there, and it puts all this information in there. It's got a price, and you can put a custom confirmation page, so it goes right to the calendar after they're done purchasing, and then they can select their time frame, and it's all set up, all automated. The whole thing goes right through PayPal. So I thought that was really cool. A little bit of advanced stuff, but really super easy advanced stuff. And I think it's stuff that's really kind of top of the model of what we need in our industry too. Because I mean, I'm doing coaching for my team almost every day now. So to have a schedule to pop out to my team, like I have Start Off Right. This is what I send to my team when they get started. And then they can come through here and set up a quick start coaching session. Any network marketer that could have this, I mean, and have it all branded and have it all filled out and looking cool. I even talked about how we'll give you a free t-shirt because you've joined our team and now you're a Freedom Crusader. And when you come through here, it lets me collect all that information, your shirt size, your address, and all that. And then you book your time with me, and then we'll hop on Zoom tomorrow and do a little meet. So, I mean, this thing's amazing. It's a really cool tool, and it's super easy to use. So I'm really enjoying it. Okay. Anything before I go on? Good. Let me check our, where the heck, there it is. I always wonder how Amy gets so confused, but I get confused every time too, I guess. So part of the value of writing them is that you can share them with your accountability partner, right? And that has value. Yeah, and that's a big thing that Christy's got a business partner with her membership site, and they didn't have a whole lot of vision together when they first started, and they've struggled a little bit because of that, because they started, and I think both of them kind of figured it wasn't going to go anywhere, but it's only the 16th and they've made $1,600 this month, so it's working fairly well for them, and so they've had to start working on vision a little bit on the backside so that they're not cutting each other off all the time, so that's a good point. Being able to share with your accountability partner. Thanks, Bob. Thanks, Jeff, for that comment. Okay, so we're going to go into the 30-minute workday, and we're going to show you exactly the steps that you should take to get started, and how to continue on if you get confused too. I noticed today I was talking to a new person, and they were confused, I think, after they bought the funnel builder, which is our website that has those tools in it. And they started getting emails from the Home Business Academy, and then they kind of got pulled out of the 30-minute workday. So when you get your tools and you start getting those other emails, come back in here to the 30-minute workday. Don't worry about the training over there at the HBA funnel builder yet, because it'll start getting you onto too advanced stuff. So the new track, I think, is really super simple. You just basically come in here and you start going down the line, right? And I know I show this every week, but I think it's that important because I still see a lot of people that are confused what to do. What happens is they come in here to the dashboard, they look at the chat, they get connected, and then somehow or another they're out of the 30-minute workday and they're lost on what to do. So we got to get them back in here. You got to come back in here to phase one. This is basically the whole setup for how to offer the 30-minute workday as a product and how to kind of get your training wheels on. This is how you get started, how you learn what a capture page is, what it does, how to get leads, how to start emailing them and stuff like that. And then you'll have this little personalize your membership, which will let you put your picture in here. And this picture, this was another question I got today. This picture only goes to your team members. So like my sponsor is Paul Hutchings, and his picture is inside of my back office. So my picture is inside of my team member's back office, and then your picture will be inside of your team member's back office. So you can put pretty much anything that you want in here. It's maybe better to put a picture of you, or you put a picture of whatever, maybe you put a motorcycle there, maybe you put your favorite star there. I don't know, whatever relates to you, but I think it's probably better to put your picture there and let people start to know who you are. And that's one way. And then you can just keep going down the line. And then once you go and you watch every single video and do everything, single little step, and then push the green button once you're through the steps, right? And keep going down the line. Create your free account, just do what the video says and do the steps over here. And it's going to eventually take you into the technicals. It's going to take you inside of the funnel builder, which I've now closed somehow. Isn't that crazy? Let me pull one back up. It will take you in.
Windows.
I know. I got all kinds of windows. I got 3 screens full of that many windows too.
Oh my gosh. That's one of my steps on how to get started and how to do things. It literally is close all of your windows. That's the first.
And you know what's really crazy, Robin, is I'm constantly closing them. And I mean, it's just like I'm just constantly opening them too, So
I keep a lot too. It ain't just you.
So it will eventually bring you in here and it'll show you exactly the steps in here, how to do it. It'll show you how to come in here and build this exactly step by step. So I usually show these steps pretty quickly because I just want you to see it, but it's all in here. And then it will just pull up this page. You do a couple of clicks in here, and that's going to that's going to explain it to you step by step in these videos. One tip I do always like to throw out there is get another monitor. You can get another monitor super cheap, $100 if you're the type that likes to buy something brand new. You can get them from Amazon for $100, or I don't know if there's any flea markets or anything going on right now. I'm sure people are still doing yard sales and stuff. I pick up monitors all the time for $5 or $10. I give them to my friends and all kinds of stuff because, man, a second monitor. I do. I've got a pile of them in the garage. I got a pile in the garage, and I got a buddy come over. He's like, man, I'm having so much. He's like, I wish I had 2 monitors. I'm like, here, I have one of mine. I got a pile of them out there.
He's like pulling monitors out of his back pocket. Funny.
So
that's cool.
You can never have too many monitors. I'm working on getting a 4th one actually set up in here because I need another one. So you go down through the green buttons, and I think, man, I was talking to somebody and they were like, yeah, these green buttons make it really super simple. And then we get to one of these steps and there's no green button, right? So I told Nick about that. And so you just watch the video, do the step, put in the code if it says, it'll tell you exactly where to go to get the code. Go ahead, Louis.
No, I was going to say about the green button. I remember that when I was showing one of my people, and there was no green button on that video. I was like,
Well, there is a process now on that one, so I want to get to it and show you. Here's the one with no green button, but now it says if you've already maximized or you just want to continue setting up, just click the no thanks link above. So if you click the no thanks, it's like pressing the green button, only there's a choice to make there. So I guess the green button that didn't make good sense with the choice options there, but then that will get you back onto the path of continuing down through the green button. So we have at least a minor solution there for now. It is still being tossed around, and I do talk to Nick almost every day. So if you have problems like that, let me know, and I'll get them to Nick. I mean, you guys obviously can too, but the team down below us may not be able to just message Nick like we can. So a little time and working with them, and you'll be able to. It's not like he's a hidden superstar. He's a superstar, but he's not super hidden. He's pretty accessible to us. And then the next one's going to say to open your get response, and then the next one's going to say to open your funnel builder. And so you start going through the process here, and each one of these videos will tell you exactly what to do. And you create your API in there, and then when it asks you for your thank you page, basically it's going to tell you to click on, I lose the thing again. I opened a new one up. There it is. And so it will basically tell you to click on this and put in that page right here, right? And that's what the video is going to show you. So if you're not really technical, just watch it. Watch it really close. Watch it a couple of times. If you don't find that you're
pause it and do steps and do the step and go back to it.
I pick up on this stuff super easy, so I can watch it one time and go do it. I realize people can't do that, so maybe you got to watch the video 3 or 4 times. I had somebody message me today that said, don't just tell me to go to the video. Well, I mean, until a certain point, you got to just go to the video, because until you get to a point where we can actually help you fix something, this is the best source.
That's why I tell people they have to meet you halfway. If this is going to be a real business for them, is that they have to tell me that you watched the video and you're stuck here, and now, but if you didn't watch the video, and you're just saying, I can't figure it out. Now I, is where Jim or myself or Robin would say, okay, I have a coaching thing over here and it's $25. And I'll coach you through it. Because, you want to be a help to everybody, but you meet halfway. It's real easy. Okay, go to this step here. But if you tell me you're not going to watch the video,
And I'm super patient, and I love helping people. I do. I mean, I even message my team and like, hey, can we get on a call? Because we haven't talked in a while, and I want to help you with something. you know. So, and I talked to a guy today, you know, he just messaged me, and I called him back and I said, hey, let's walk through this a little bit and go ahead and book a session with me, you know, and we'll hop on and we can work some stuff out, you know. But you need a solid starting point. You need to know what you don't know. Not knowing all of it doesn't help too much. Then we end up spending a lot of time doing really kind of nothing, and neither of us got anything out of it really. And then I wanted to point out too, there was a guy in the chat today, and I didn't show the chat this time. I'll show that real quick in just a minute. Make sure to go to phase 2 and read the invisible step. There's been a guy in the chat talking about how he's been struggling with this and he doesn't quite understand basically the whole concept. I think it wasn't a matter of doing the steps, but it was just he didn't quite understand the concept. And then he read the invisible step and he's like, man, I was bawling, you know. I read through that and it just all clicked. So the book is that powerful, and we always talk about the book, and this is where you can get the book is in phase 2, and you can come right in here and click it here to open, and it'll open right up in the PDF. It's only 183 pages. You can read it in a day or two. It's not anything. I mean, you can read it in a day or two. It may take you 5 or 6 times reading it to really absorb it and get everything out of it, because there's a lot of information in here, even for us veterans. I mean, I've read it 5 or 6 times myself, and I know that Louis printed it out. Robin, you read it a few times?
Listen, I'm excited about it all over again. I bought me a printer yesterday because that's what I love, paper. So reading it on my computer was pretty hard. But I'm excited about it all over again.
Well, and I downloaded it right to my Kindle because I like to read in the shower, as strange as that is, right? I get in there and get the water running on me, and I sit down and I read in the shower for 2 or 3 hours sometimes.
Going to in different sections.
That's past that, Jim. You just went past the Jolly stop sign right there.
That was too much information.
Too much.
Well, you know the book good. You take it to the shower with you.
Heck yeah. I read everything in the shower. Everything. That's where I do most of my reading. So real books and all. I do find the waterproof Kindle is better in the shower than the real books, because once in a while they get a little dousing in there, you know. So I can just wipe off the screen of the Kindle and we're good to go. But the real book doesn't work so good that way.
That's why one of your goals is to get a pool, because you're going to sit in the pool.
Then I can sit in the pool and read. Right. We're actually thinking about getting an endless pool though, instead of just a sitting around pool. We're thinking about getting one of them swimming treadmill pools.
I don't want to, I know we're at the top of the hour here and stuff, but we couldn't get a pool, and my 11-year-old wanted a pool, so I built one. I should have taken a picture of it. I built an 8x8 pool out here that's about 3 feet deep on one end, and so there you go, Jim. You can make one.
I know, and Christy's been looking at the above ground ones. There's some pretty nice ones on Amazon for thousands of dollars.
They're not available right now. I don't know what it is.
Really?
We had our first issue with an Amazon order ever over a pool. That's why I ended up building one.
Because everybody's buying them right now, right? Because it's the only thing you can do.
Yeah.
That makes sense. All right, so let's get back into the 30-minute workday. We'll go through a few more things and wrap this up. I kind of bounced out of here because I wanted to make sure and show the book. But if you find that you're stuck, just go back to the beginning, and you can pretty quickly find out where you were. Once you see that you filled some stuff in, if you find some spots that stuff's not filled in, maybe go back another step, and make sure that you've got everything filled in. And that's the biggest part and then to set up your capture page. And then once you get your capture page set up, and now I want you to realize all of this stuff is done for you. We talked about that it's done for you. The steps are done. You just have to kind of plug them into each other. They're all set up. This page that I showed you, it was already done.
You got to personalize it. Right.
You just got to personalize it. This is completely done already for you. You just plug it in here, you change some stuff in here, and it's ready to go. And that's what he'll tell you in there, how to do those steps. And so we want to get back down through here because I want to show you the traffic that we're always talking about. This is get your links. I can just come up here and go, oh, here we are. So this is our traffic. And I like to point out that this is unskilled traffic, because a lot of people talk about how they don't want to do paid traffic because it's hard, and it's hard to make sure that you're going to get good quality traffic. And there is a lot of bad traffic out there. But both of these sources, I use both of these sources on and off, and I've gotten great results with both sources. And there's no skill to it. You just go here and you give them your website, and then they are the skill. They're paid to do the skill side of it. They write the emails, they write the ad copy, whatever it is, and you just get visitors to your page. So you don't have to worry about. Go ahead, Robin.
Oh, I was gonna let you finish. I was gonna just let everybody know this is the button. People are like, "Where's the button? I can't find the button." This is the button, and it's a real button because, like he said, is you don't have to have skills to get this traffic.
Well, there used to be a button.
There was. Yeah, there was a button, and now it's got everybody confused that everything says push the button, but it says push button traffic right here. So this is the push button traffic, and it's unskilled traffic. Like I tried to do a Facebook ad yesterday. Let me show you that ad real quick, because this is skilled traffic, right? And skilled traffic is harder. So I tried to sneak this ad through on Facebook. And I was on there long enough to get 1,737 people reached, and then they rejected my ad because, oh, it's home business. But it's crazy because I took all the wording out. I made it so it was such a weak ad already. You know, I changed make your first 100K to make your first sales online. So it wasn't really hypey. I changed out the words up here so that it would all match a little better. And it's just give a free book away, you know? So this is the skill side that we're talking about. This takes a whole lot of time to get to in order to get traffic this way. But this in here is unskilled traffic. You just push the button and you give your website to them, multiple websites. I know Louis right now has it rotating between 2 different websites for him and his son, or did have, probably over by now. But so you can even, put multiple websites in there, and you can test stuff that way. You don't even have to have a rotator to do traffic that way. And I know that's probably words people don't know. So then that's it. Once you get this far, you're done. All you have left to do is just your daily email. And if you set up your traffic on a weekly rotator, even if you do MLM leads, what I do for MLM leads is put it on the auto monthly, and I just go in and order every week until I've got 4 weeks set up. So it's on autopilot. I don't even have to mess with it anymore, So that's one task of my goal that I can take right off of the list. Then you come in here and you just do the daily action. And the daily action is basically to build your list, which you're already doing by pushing the button. And then your second daily action is to build your knowledge. So you watch stuff like this, you get a little information, you read a book, and you send out an email about something. And that's the third step, is to send out an email. So that's the whole backbone to the whole system. And all this stuff up here, now this is done. You don't have to do this again. It's all set up for you. So all that work, maybe it takes you a week to get your first one set up, right? Because you got to go through the skills to get it done right, make sure and check it over and test it.
It won't take you that long if you get plugged in, though, and work through it. And when you get stuck, don't let it derail you. Set a goal that you're going to have it set up in a week. And this way, when you get stuck on something, you hop into the chat, or, if you see your sponsor in there all the time, or you email them and say, hey, how do I do this? And don't let it set, but be working towards it. Set a goal to be set up in a week and to be able to buy your first traffic, or however you're going to do your leads. Don't let it set, because over time, it's just human nature that you just don't stay with it. And so don't let something derail you. A little bit of knowledge, something that you could pick up. Real easy. We do say we want you, because it's your business, to work through the steps. But if you do get stuck on a step, go ahead and ask. I think, Bob has asked, questions, we'll email, and I know I've asked Jim things, Jim's asked me. We all help each other out in this business. There is a ton of room, and it's only going to grow bigger. The longer, COVID, the world is changing, right? The jobs are changing. Being online is going to be, offering your services and stuff online is going to be a much bigger player. And this is real. We talk about people like Nick Bramble, who created the 30-minute workday for us. We talk about Paul Hutchings and Mike Hobbs, who created the Funnel Builder and the HBA Academy. These are real people that had struggles years ago, that are they're sincere, that the real deal. It's not this, hey, get in here and get out. They are here to help. We're here to help. Let's help you get started. If you haven't started and you're watching this video, get in there, and that means you're already on one of our lists or one of our members lists, and you're interested. Take the next action step, write your goal down that you're going to be set up by this time next Thursday, and then let us know, and we'll bring you on the live if you want to be on the live or not. And just encourage you to keep moving forward.
Absolutely. And even if you feel like, I know I see a lot of people say that they're falling behind, and there's no falling behind. It's go at your own pace, right? But don't let that, the same thing like we talked about earlier, don't let that be an alibi for quitting. You fell behind, and now, well, I wasn't really going to go for it anyways, so now here's a good chance to get out. That's what causes shiny object syndrome, right? Because you didn't do the actions, and now it doesn't look like this works. But the problem is the next one won't work either unless you set your goals and do the actions. I wanted to say one more thing about the paid traffic before I remind you that there's a button down here below that you can press to get started with us. One thing I really like about the paid traffic is it really helps you to change your mindset when you have enough people to talk to. You don't have to, your desperation goes away. I know I'm going to make sales. I don't have to chase people around. So I don't, so I think that's a really important part of it. And I think a lot of people never get to that stage where they have enough people to talk to that they can actually just run their business and make choices. Like, hey, this guy doesn't want to work with me. He's not set up an appointment. He's canceled on the last 3. I'm not calling him to say, hey, are you going to be on the next appointment? I got enough people, So I think that's a really good point. And I don't mean that in a negative way. I'll help anybody that's willing to do this. And I'll help them want to do this. But having enough leads and having enough people to work with really helps your mindset, and it really increases your belief in this business. So it really makes the desperation go away. I know for years and years that's why I failed, because I had desperation, because I wasn't actually getting leads all the time. I was chasing people. I chased my friends, all my friends. I got a guy that messaged me the other day, a friend of mine, that's like, hey, I want to get that website tool, And I was like, all right, here it is. And then he hasn't messaged me back in like 2 weeks. And I was like, he either does or he doesn't. I'm not going to chase him about it, And used to, man, I'd be there like every day. What are you doing? What are you doing? You doing this? You doing this? Come on. And then the next thing you know, he's not talking to me because I've hounded him to death, So it's such a different mindset because of having leads coming in all the time. I got people, and I make contact with everybody now. I'm following up. And even that, I didn't used to like to call people because I didn't want to scare anybody away, right? But now I call them because they want this. And if I scare them away, I scare them away, But every one of them that I've called has been like, man, I can't believe I'm getting a call like minutes after I bought the product, or minutes after I fill out a form, so to me, that's a super powerful thing again about the leads. And I really think it's the difference for this particular system. I mean, all of it. It's all in here together. And there is a button at the bottom of the screen. I know I mentioned it, even though I said I wasn't going to mention it at that stage. There's a button at the bottom of this video that will allow you to sign up for the 30-minute workday and get on one of our teams, or Bob's team, or Jeff's team. I don't know how many people are really sending this out anymore. I know Amy is. I know Todd is. So if you're on any of those people's team, that button is a smart button, and it will link you to the right person. And we'll start building the team together. And we'll start growing your money. We'll help you, just like Bob said. He wants to help 100 people in whatever time frame, like Robin, whatever time frame it happens in. And he wants to get, we all want to help people. That's why we're here every Thursday night. We do this every Thursday night to help people walk through their problems, their hurdles, their challenges. I try not to say those negative words. They're not problems. They're just new, So anything you want to add, Louis? You look like you got something on your mind.
No, I agree. There is hurdles. There's something that's new. Don't let it discourage you. Just how far you've come to be even invited to watch to our Thursday night lives, and learn hopefully from us what we've had so far, just how far you've come to get here, from your own intentions of wanting to learn. So, and the three of us are saying, hey, if you need help, we will help you. Meet us halfway, but we will help you succeed. We love seeing people like, posting, posting the chat, made their first sale ever online.
It's awesome.
That makes all of us, it's like, normally, everybody's different, but 2 to 3 weeks in, by the time you get set up and do all the steps, is about, I say that because that's about what it took for me. And then when my son got involved, it took him about 2 weeks. I remember him coming out of his rooms and no sales. And then it's like, I made a sale. And then it's like, did you make a sale last night? I made a sale last night. And, so it's wicked exciting. And that encouragement, or that you did it, now you just got to repeat it. Just repeat. I see that Jeff talked about putting a quarter or a third of your profits that you're making right back into more traffic, right? You think about starting any business, there's a little bit of an outlay in the beginning, put some of that right back into more traffic until to the point where, it's feeding itself and you're not having to do that out of your own pocket anymore. And that's a good feeling. If you set yourself up a budget for a while and say, hey, I'm going to do this every month, I'm commit to this, then, you're adding that much more to it to help yourself. So yeah, keep at it.
Yeah. I was, I was nervous the first time I ran ads. I was like, I'm only doing 40 clicks because these things don't work, And then I got a sale and I was like, okay, next one we're doing 80 clicks, so, and it's just snowballed up and it's doing awesome. It's so exciting to have people to work with. To me, that's my favorite part, is just having people to work with, so, we've run pretty far over. I know Louis has an early bedtime, so, Jeff said he really enjoys these Thursday nights. Love to hear all three of you and your thoughts and tips. It's an amazing resource. And this is an amazing resource to share with your list too. That's what's really cool about it, is we're selling for you, so get it shared out. And we'll be here every Thursday. We've committed. I'm not ever stopping. So at least for 5 years. You got me for at least 5 years. So, all right. So that's all I got tonight. Anybody else got anything else?
I just want to add, just get started. A lot of times that's the part that we fear, but once you get in there, it's not going to be a perfect journey, but it'll be a a memorable one, and one that you can learn and get your feet wet and hopefully dive all the way in. Just get started. I recently had to get started in something new or different in the last couple months, and I literally was like, oh my gosh, and I was like, wait a minute, I'm just going to get in. I'm just going to do it, and I'm fine. I'm still living, still good. So just get started.
All right. Louis, you're muted. You said something.
I said, all right. No, I wanted Robin to have the last word.
Oh.
Uh-oh.
Shush.
Don't nobody say nothing else. No, I'm just kidding. Awesome, guys.
All right. Have a good night, everybody.
Have a good night.
Have a good night.